Welcome to Honestly Speaking. I am Trina, and today I have one of the pioneers, one of the fundamental voices, original voices of UK garage and grime. Today with me, I have Maxwell D, who has transitioned into a UK mentor giving back to the community.
Thank you. That was a nice intro.
You like it?
I love that intro. The intro was just nice, you see? Yeah.
Welcome to Honestly
Thank you,
Speaking.
man. Thanks for having me as well. Appreciate you, man. See what you're doing. I love it. I had to support it, so I'm here.
Thank you for turning up. I really appreciate you.
No, man, from we had the chat the other day, I knew it was solidified anyway, but we was wasted. I didn't go there, but yeah.
We had a good time.
We had a good time, yeah.
A time was had.
Definitely, definitely.
So, Maxwell, for those that don't, and I don't know why you don't know him, for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about your early days, your upbringing.
So the best way to explain it is if I start with my grandparents. So we're originally from Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston.
And
what parish? Waterhouse, 10,
so Tivoli, Brownstown. It's obviously my dad's side is like St. Elizabeth. So my dad's side is like more the lighter side, like the fair skin lot, whatever. Even though my dad's dark, but that's there for. And then my mum's side are with like deep Kingston. So I would say that just before the Windrush come over, and then my granddad come over with his brothers and a few others, cousins and uncles and that. And then they, come over and started working, and then they sent for their women and stuff like that. And my nan come over with my, they had 2 kids already in Jamaica, and then they left them with my grandma, great grandma, and then they come over, and then they come over to Wembley.
Oh,
that
Wembley.
was the one of the ports in that Wembley. So it was in Northwest a lot. And then they had I'm trying to think who's the eldest out of my auntie who just passed. I think it was my auntie first, and then my mum, and then my uncle, first uncle, then second uncle. Yeah. So it was so my mum was like the second kid that they had when they come to England.
Oh, okay, first generation.
Yes, 1963. So
my mum's born in 1963 too. Yeah.
Yeah. So literally so they was Wembley, and then my nan decided to come out of Wembley. I think she broke up with my granddad. They had their little fist built. They broke up, and then she moved to Peckham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then...
Southeast.
Yeah, North Peckham Estate. You know what I'm saying? So my nan moved to North Peckham Estate, Kilmerston Way. If anyone knows that, then they know that. And my mum obviously went to school, Peckham Girls, I think it was that they called it back then. And then my dad was originally living in East London with his mum, Hackney.
Right.
And then they moved to Peckham. So my mum and my dad met each other. Yeah, at 12, 13, whatever they had. And then, my mum had a stillbirth, and then they had me afterwards. So my mum was 15 when she had me. So my mum...
This is sounding very similar to my story, I'm not going to lie.
Well, this is a lot of our story where we come from, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so my mum had me at 15, and then I come out, and I was the eldest out of my brothers and sisters. And yeah, I was living in Peckham. I went to primary school, went to Oliver Goldsmith. A couple people that people might know, Karate Leon, we call him. I used to go primary school, nursery with him.
Yeah.
And then from there I was about 8, I think, North Peckham. And then my nan left Peckham. She bought a house in East London with Leighton. And my mum, followed her. So then we ended up living in a couple places near Leighton Orient. And then my nan got a big house, and then we was all in that house near the town hall, Rockhout Road in Leighton. And we was there for a while. And then, my mum got a place, got a house. Eventually she got a house. They offered us Chinkford Hall, can you imagine? First,
Chinkford Hall?
Yeah, my mum tells me that they offered her Chinkford Hall first when I'm... Thank you, Mum, for not taking it. Because it would have been, she said, there's 20th floor, Chinkford Hall.
20th floor?
Yeah. So, because obviously they were bidding times, and it was a par. And then she got the house in Leighton, near Abbots Park, Moyers Road. And then, that was it. I started so the earlier part of my Leighton journey was more near the train station, Leighton Town Hall and that. And then the later part was more down there, Baker's Arms, Leighton Midland. And then that's where I rose. But my dad still lived in Peckham. Didn't move. My sisters, dads, and that were there from the same estate as where my mum used to live. So all my family, cousins, a lot of them there. But my main family are from like Northwest London, like Harlesden. All my cousins, like my granddads, so all like, my family surnames were from there. And yeah, and that was like, so that would say that is where I'm raised. I was born in Dulwich Hospital. And yeah, when I was in East London, the first school I remember going to was Newport Juniors.
Right.
And then my first secondary school was Norliton Boys. And then growing up there, just a typical little young kid, you know, at the ages of 10, 11, going to like Hackney Downs, following DJ Keithley, going to these little under 18s in Pegasus and like Clapton Pond.
Oh my God,
yeah,
Pegasus.
Because my dad was because my dad is a reggae DJ, and he was a like well-known reggae DJ at the time on Choice FM, but it wasn't.
Hold on, who's your dad?
My dad's named Natty B, so.
No way, Natty B's your dad?
Yeah, so he's like him, Commander, Daddy Ernie.
Commander B, big up Commander B.
Yeah, that's family still.
Muffy and Fluxy, sorry.
And Robbo Ranks, he's tight, and also Sugar Dread at the time. So all of that was like the radio. So my dad used to bring me to Carnival a lot, Sound Clashes a lot, like, and then just being with my dad and then being in East London, mum and dad, you don't really see your pops and whatever. I'm growing up with a single woman, like my mum's just doing her thing, and then loads of domestic violence witnessing through my sister's dad and my mum and stuff like that. So I had to witness a lot of shit growing up.
How did that impact you?
Yeah, it was a lot, man. I was like, because you remember, like, you're young, you're a kid, you can't really do much. You can't, like, I'm the only boy in the household at times before my brother was born, you know, and just me and my two little sisters, obviously. And yeah, he wasn't really a nice guy growing up around him. And my dad wasn't really around. So I would still see my dad on 6 weeks holiday, going to Peckham on a 6 weeks holiday. And, you know what I mean, that was cool. But 10, 11, I'll say secondary school, it was more a lot of problems at home, unstable at home, you know, poverty kicks in. I remember corned beef and rice, cornmeal porridge, like the real hard, you know what I mean, the real sufferers. You know what I mean?
That's when it was cheap. You can't buy corned beef now.
Corned beef is expensive. Don't play with them. They said, yeah, you not eat this. All right, let's pull it up. Yeah?
£5.
So, sorry, I'm playing with the mic. Yeah, that was like, growing up was really poor, grandpa and Leighton. So that was all I knew. It was like Leighton, Peckham, and go Harlesden to see my cousins and that. That was my little thing. So going to secondary school, I was a very, I couldn't focus. There'd be times I'd be in the classroom in my first and second year in school where I'd be hungry in the classroom. So I didn't have breakfast, so I'd just get ready, I'm running late. My mum wasn't that, you know, she's only 15 years older than me. There's a lot of stuff I saw, you know, all of her mistakes, or she just growing up.
She was just trying
She's
to
a young,
up.
so if I'm like, what, 12, my mum's like 20 something. You know what I'm saying, 27. So it was hard to see, you know, my mum done really good though, because she always showed me, you know, to be clean and, you know, to look after myself. But I was a very emotional kid because I'm raised by women, you know what I mean? Her and my nan are very, very tight. Yeah, so but with me going to school in my area and being exposed to the outside a lot, because my thing I wasn't an inside child, I was an outside child. Like everything was outside. I was so used to coming from North Peckham Estate, you was free to walk the whole block. So we're talking like, you can go from literally Peckham front line, Clare near to Elephant Castle, and you're walking across the estates. So you go Camden, then you go North Peckham Estate, and then you go Gloucester, where Giggs and them lot are from, and then you Burgess Park, then you cross the road, then it's Aylesbury, and then you keep going through Aylesbury up to the top, and then it's more or less Elephant. You get me? So I was free to roam a lot. So I was so used to outside. So being in East London now, and then living that early part of Leighton, and you know what I mean? So when I used to listen to the radio, DJ Keith was in that, I ended up venturing out to Hackney and, you know, going to like Pegasus Factory, Barry's Diner, Flower Pot. So I was just a music person that took me around to all of these ghetto areas, bogling away. My little pick-me self was very short as well when I was still short now, but yeah, I was mad short when I was even younger. Just being with older people, so I always used to learn. So all the criminalities I learned of just being around older people, you know what I mean? Always, you know what I mean? Getting picked on because you're young and we're poor and I mean, them times we couldn't afford no clothes, Trina. So it was like, I'd be in the bath, dyeing the clothes, like dyeing the bleach, the bleach jeans, cutting up the string, the t-shirt, you know what I mean?
The marina them and stuff.
Cutting it up and yeah, man, the little, the Elise's with the little thing.
Gosh, the Elise's.
It was so poor, we were so poor. I remember them days I couldn't even go MASH because we used to go to MASH at Oxford Circus, Oxford Street. and buy the little gold caps and the Nike thing and put them in your thing.
Oh my God,
so
I remember that.
It was that bad. Man used to get the Benson and Hedges and tear the gold bit out of it and then wrap it around your tooth and then just do the looker. It was a Gino, you know, just to get a gold tooth. Real Gino moves. Yeah, it was real. And yeah, I say from 10 to 13 was really hard at home. You know, my mum used to, I think after beating me for so long, the beats didn't work. You know what I mean? To be like respected and put me in shape, she just ground me. That got me. Like
so you can't go outside?
Yeah, the people used to knock my door, 10 gal or like just the neighborhood. Can you come out? No. You know what I mean? Like certain summers, the sun's boiling. Yeah, garden. Like it was painful. So my mum knew certain ways to get me until she couldn't get me because if there was a party going on that night, you better believe I'm sneaking out. Yeah, and one time, I'll give you this joke. One time I snuck out to this party, literally it was on like round the corner from where I lived. And I remember I was in there, and I was just in there, got my hood on, because them days were starter jackets. Do you remember when everyone used to wear starter jackets? Yeah. And I remember I wasn't allowed to wear it because I was grounded. So, but I needed to go to this party and I needed to show that I had the new starter because everyone had one and I needed to know that I got it.
Yeah.
But I say, my mum won't let me wear it.
You ain't got it.
So I got my starter jacket, snuck out, went there. So I'm in there, forgetting the world and forgetting. I didn't even have a watch. I didn't know what time it was. And then all of a sudden, a man pulled me and goes, bro, your mum's downstairs. I said, what? Heart drop. Boom. Has anyone seen my son? Where is he? I know you. I know. Listen. What? Don't. And I'm just hearing my mum's voice. I'm going in the kitchen, going in the bathroom, hiding. I'm this and that. I got out of there, flew my ass home. Yeah, it was peak. When my mum got in, she knew I was there. So yeah, I got in trouble. But just loads of little scenarios like that. I was just like I was a good kid, but I was very just outside. I was too exposed early. I feel like my mum being very young. I used to see so much and
too much.
Way too much. And my uncles, they weren't really much older than me. You know what I'm saying? They were younger than my mum. My two uncles, they're younger than my mum.
So they're just like cousins at this point.
They're like brothers, older brothers at this point. So, you know, if my uncles bring these girlfriends home or whatever, when I'm living in my nan's at that time, I see them doing their little service. Like, they'll be like, him and his gal in my come around the corner, and they're all in their gal and that. And I'm like, watching it, you know what I'm saying? Young and finding little mad things, like finding little porno movies on tapes and that, because obviously they're
old enough.
Yeah, so I was exposed to way too much too early, and that's what started developing, you know what I mean? But with the music as well, being exposed to that and moving around with older people, it really kicked in. So I got to the ages of like, it all started with my mum, just like the phone bill, you know, like, cool, item was cool. What do they call it?
Itemized billing, yeah.
That was peak for me.
Yeah.
My mum used to phone the people, you know. Do you know my son? Yeah, Rago, like, just get the number. This ain't my, do you know my son? Yeah, all right, cool. Psh, put the phone down. £200. You're there sitting down talking. Yeah, it was peak.
Wow.
And I think after a while, after the beating and the grounding, because if you ground me, she tried to put the block on the phone, we find the block, unblock the phone. It was peak for my mum, bless her, love my mum.
My daddy did. My nanny, because we went mad with the phone bill. She, do you remember the phone boxes?
Oh, yeah, of course.
She got the phone box in the house.
Huh? Oh, she went in?
It was like
not even the long...
Nah, she got rid of that because we abused that.
Oh, wow.
So she got the payphone in the house. I remember she got it in the hallway and you would have to get money.
That's peak. She's gangster. That's gangster, that's gangster.
Oh, yeah.
So who got the money in it then?
Like, so when you pay, you take that money and give it, when your bill comes, you just take it and you
okay, that's how they do it. Yeah, okay.
But then my brother found the key. So my brother's found the key, so he's opening it. And just, you know when you put the 50 pence in?
Yeah, and then it drops
out,
and you get the
put it back in again.
I was doing that at the phone box, to be honest.
So he was doing it in the house. My nanny had the payphone in the house.
She's
Crazy.
gangster.
No, she was serious.
I think
anyway,
that was, it's funny you said that, because when I got to that point, I remember my mum just saying, I can't handle it no more, you're going to go live with your dad. And that's, I think I was about 13 going on 14. And that was a big year for me, because living with your pops is different. My dad's on the road, you know what I mean? He's a music man, he's never there. I'm going to a new school. I went from a whole different like diversity. So in going to school in East London, it's like a lot of Asians, a lot of white people, like, you know, it's more diverse. Black people were all mixed, like from Newlitten to Warwick boys. And then boom, going to Tennyson's, the whole class is just black. Like everyone, like it was no white people in my class, like no Asians, no nothing. It was just like straight up black boys. You know what I mean? So it was like, and then obviously all the people that I knew in Peckham, everyone was scattered around. Like some went to like Warwick Boys, some went to like
Warwick Park.
Warwick Park,
Yeah, at the time,
At the time, Warwick Park, yeah, of course. Some went to, I don't know, different schools like Ramsey,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all other schools, Plymouth
William Bailey.
Yeah, William and Bailey, yeah, all around there. So I ended up going Tennyson's, and there was no one in there that I actually knew. Like, just a couple man from maybe Camden Estate in Peckham, but so I was literally on my own. So I remember going to class first time, meeting a few Brixton boys and a couple Junction man, and yeah, I just was in there, and it was quite daunting because it was like you have to be thick skin. It was really thick skin, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, but where I was, my dad was a music man. I always fitted in because a lot of music to come in common, and I used to come to school with my 7 inches, and when you start making friends, you start this, and you start telling them stories, and and then before I'm in the middle of the playground, I'm just the loud mouth. And this and what you man, and one thing I used to love about my dad, because he always played out. Every time I used to go to school in the morning, he'll be like KO'd, locks fly, like, because he's a Rasta, like locks hanging out. So them big P3 phones with a massive aerial, remember them big feet? And then just have like about 30 quid of pound coins change. And I'll be like, I need some money for school, Daddy. He'll be like, oh. I'll be like, yeah, all right, cool.
Clear that.
So going to school with no, I was like, bang, you can have a lunch. You can have a lunch. You can have, that's how it was.
Because a pound could stretch them
a pound,
times.
you just get the yellow tokens and you can buy you a whole meal. So, you know what I mean?
You had the yellow tokens
too.
Yeah, it must have been a Lambeth thing.
It must have been a Lambeth thing.
Yeah, because we had the tokens, they had holes in it.
Yes.
It looked like buttons.
Exactly that.
We used to steal the boxes.
Oh, wow.
Not me personally. But I used to profit off of it.
Wow, I used to just be balling with living with my dad. My mum, so we didn't have no breakfast sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, but dad's was just. But I was coming back, and with my dad, he weren't like coming back after school cooking 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock after school cooking. It was just more like a right, we're going around to so and so, whatever woman it was linking at the time, or not even that. I don't know, like, or I think it was with my stepmom. Like the woman that was with for a long time will go, I'd be down there and eating food or whatever. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. But South London really changed me. Yeah. Because I remember me and my dad catching up after living there for a long while, because musically, streetwise, gang culture, it was a bit advanced. And then remember my dad saying, like, me and my dad catching up, and I phoned my mum at the phone box saying, look, mama, I got to get out of here. Like, Dad just, he's a madman.
I need to get out of here.
Come back. So went back to East, but it didn't last long because I didn't like her partner, who is actually her husband right now, like funny, who's my brother's dad. But at the time, I hated his guts. Like, we had our little wars and that. And then when I come back for a hot minute, we clashed, and then I went straight into foster care.
You went into foster care?
Well, I was fostered from the age of like 14 to like 16. So I was in the system. Like? The first family was a mixed race family, dual heritage family. Yeah, and I remember walking. Yeah. So when I got in there, it was a madness. I knew I weren't getting no rice and peas. I knew it was peak.
No Sunday dinner.
Yeah, and they had animals and that. Like a lot of us, I never grew up with no animals. I got a dog now. Can you imagine? Yeah, I know, mad thing. But that's due to my wife. But yeah. Yes, it was mad. I was just like, but to be fair, it kind of showed me what real family life should actually be like, sitting down at the table, eating food, going on family holidays, like we went to like Butlins and all of these little things, and it was just like normal, but I was just unruly. They'd be like, telling me, come back at 7, coming back at 10. I was just playing my music. They couldn't handle me. Bless them. I know my foster sisters and brothers that when they see me now, they're like, oh my God, you were so bad, but we love you. You get me? And then I got kicked. Well, I left there. They couldn't handle me. I went to this lady in Hymes Park. She was a church lady. She had me up in the attic kind of thing, nice, beautiful room, but no TV. I wasn't allowed to have no TV. So, no TV. Are you mad? Like, so that was it. I was outside all the time. And then I ended up smashing her porch window because I was just unruly. And then I ended up living with my brethren, who I used to hang around with in East London. His mum fostered me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big up Mrs. Gittins, yeah. So she fostered me, And then I was literally right around the corner from my mum's house. So, you know, and then unfortunately I got to 16 and they put me in a hostel, 16 plus. And
so
then I
you
had to
just found stability?
Yeah, I was so gutted I had to leave Pat's, man. I was upset about leaving Pat's because it was just home. I knew the house inside out.
Yeah.
My brethren is like my brother now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My mum lives around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm
You
comfortable.
finally found comfort and peace.
Peace. It was fuming. And then they was like, right, we can't have you no more. You're too old. Like, so then I ended up going to Black Horse Road. And I had a hostel there. But it was not even a hostel, it was like a house with a room. First independence, like a room, you share the bathroom, you share the kitchen. Yeah. And that, and and I remember that's the first time I met my friend Denzel from Tottenham. And that was the whole North London journey.
Wow.
And then I started going down Tottenham with him and Popcorn and a few other, and that was it. That was that world, and it was a madness. Yeah. So that was like but all of this was going on. I want to say to you that even I was doing this is like my criminals journey started, but I also was doing music parallel, like the sound system, jungle music was going on. So that was the fashion. We was trying to go to certain raves. There was a guy that Nicky Slimting who done the intent and all that. We saw him literally the other day. Yeah, he used to go late and so school. So after school, I used to go around his mum's house. He'd have little decks and we used to practice. His uncle owned Living Dream rave, which had a hippodrome. So he was already in drunk. Like Kenny Ken lived on the road next to us. So I was always heavily involved in the music. And I was little, local, go around to little house parties and shell it down. I was a little community celebrity, give Max the mic, like you go there and whatever. And then, but at the same time, all that was going on in the background. So it was like a whirlwind until, then when I was in North, that's when we started things, even though I was south was grimy, like when I started moving in North, it was just more grimy. I started moving with, the guns and it all just started changing. And then, I started doing a madness, loads of robberies, armed robberies, and then ended up in prison.
What was the initial motivation to start doing crime?
All right, you got to look at, I used to go to these jungle raves, and there's no way in the world that I could afford off keys that are like 5 bills for the jacket, 4 bills for the bottoms, 3 bills for the... Who could afford that? Who? I had no job. You haven't got no job. Mum, I can't afford that. So we had to lick it. We started with licking handbags. Then we started, licking, jumping over counters on the local petrol stations, whatever. And then we started looking at building societies and banks, and it just escalates until we just got to eat. You know what I mean? So that was the motivation. Garms was my motivation. I know it sounds mad, but looking good was my motivation because I remember being picked on just for not having the lack of you know what I mean, not having. I used to wear you remember Avia? Them trainers they used to look like Fila a bit. They're called AVIA.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I remember I used to wanted them. I wanted to get travel foxes. I wanted to get my braggers.
Ballets,
I wanted to get my ballets.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford that when in the yardie days.
Slick and quick suits.
So I used to remember just being around older people and laughing. You cutting up your t-shirt and trying to bogle with you know what I mean, and string vests and it was hard. So when it comes to the Versace and the Moschino days.
Crazy Mosh?
Yeah, I was like, so I said mad stories, man sleeping in Selfridges, man are doing this, man are doing that. I was like, listen, I'm up there. And I knew when we used to go to the dances, man be like, yo, where'd you get that from? I felt the attention, innit? Even though I was a little MC in that, the attention from what I was wearing, I kind of made me feel good. It kind of built up my self-confidence a little bit. And so, I was just on it. I was like, what? I'm going to have the best clothes, I'm going to have the maddest wardrobe. So all I wanted to do was just lick it.
Lick it and then to Probitos.
Probitos used to get rinsed. I could tell you every Probitos, from the one in the alleyway, Carnaby Street, the one across the New Bond Street, the one that was the first one round there, Shop 70 in Holborn. Man used to fly down there, get the Stonies, the reflector ones, the ones that used to glow up. Man was just out there hunting for shops, exclusives. I was that guy. I was that guy. You know what I mean? And then, I remember even Spray coming in Walthamstow Central one time. He had the lips. He had the Machino jeans with the lips, and I was
red lips on it.
Yeah, all the lips on the thing. I said, yo, where'd you get them ones from? And that's what I'm saying. Everyone was just out there to get certain style, and it was important. So that's my whole group. It was to eat. And then I think this was before I went to prison, and that was just all I cared about. Just gal. where the gal are gonna be, and that's it. And thing. It's funny enough because where I went to college, I met Wiley and that, and that they brought me to Bow. I never knew nothing about Bow before that. Not one thing about Bow before that. And then when I met them in college and that, because I used to be like, rah, because I used to see, we used to go like all these raves, and I used to see these certain boys with all these like certain designers, and I see them again at college, and I'd be like, oh, they're wearing the same clothes they wear in the rave. So I used to be like, oh. So I kind of recognise them for that. They said they do music and radio and Rinse FM, and that's that journey. So yeah, it's mad. It's a mad journey. It's a mad.
So let's tap into.
Go for it.
Pay As You Go.
Oh, you want to start that? So okay, that's good, because meeting Wiley and that, it weren't really Pay As You Go. It was just like, it was jungle days, and then
Jungle was a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. Yeah, so bringing me down there, I also had a hostel in Leytonstone, and there was a guy called Casper, DJ.
So you're still living by yourself? Did you never go back to your mum's?
No.
So from that 16,
independent.
That's it, you've just been by yourself all the time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the only time I went back is when I split up with when I remember 2001, and I split up with my girlfriend, and I sold my penthouse and I went and stayed with my mum for a little bit, but not long. Literally just like 6 months.
Just to readjust.
Yeah, just to readjust.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I was independent all the way from onwards. I remember before how the Pay As You Go got in. It was because I have to tell you how I know them.
Yeah.
For it
to make sense.
To make sense. Met them at college.
What college did you go?
Waltham Forest College. Not for long though. In that college, I was trying to do plumbing. Why? I don't know, because I don't know what. I just wanted to do something just to get in there. Half the time I was in the common room anyway. Like, it was peak, man. Man went in no lesson.
Were you getting EMA?
What was that?
Oh, and you weren't getting EMA. It was like free money.
No.
Like every week, if you go in, you had full attendance, you'd get like
No, never told me that. I would have been in there all the time.
I used to get EMA.
No, I was too busy going. I was like, who's in today? Who can I socialise with today?
Yeah,
or who do we need to bad up? That's what it was like. Yeah, it was like, who do we need to get hold of? Who do we need to bad up? What do we need to do? So, yeah, when I met them in the thing, and I see them in the raves, and then plus I got Nikki as well. So I used to go to a lot of these jungle raves, and I feel like they told me, I was in a hostel in Leytonstone, met this guy, Casper. He was a DJ on Rinse FM, and he was like, yo, I used to go to his shop, do a couple sets, MC, and he said, come up to the radio. Went to the radio, and that was my journey on Rinse FM. And then eventually, Nikki come and joined me. So me and him had a show on Rinse. Then he left. He was the youngest DJ in the borough to have all these dub plates, and then he went to Cool FM, which was the GOAT station.
Yeah, that's
of
the
the daddy.
pinnacle.
Yeah. So he left me on my own. I ended up linking with Wiley and Target, and then they were SS Crew, but that was their little bowl circle. And I was with them for a little while until I done an under-18s competition, Cool FM under-18s, and I joined first place with some other youth. And then because I knew everyone, because with Nicky I used to go to all the record shops, and when he used to buy records, so I knew the Decks, the Shabbers, and all them man there. And then boom, I was on the station. But they gave us a slot 9 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, 9 to 11.
Sunday.
Yeah, but it was the best slot because everyone would come home lagging, you know what I mean, from a rave, bus up, phoning, yeah, I'm you, man. Because it's a big thing for you lot to be on a radio.
On the radio station, yeah.
And that was my journey until I went jail. So that year that I got on the station, that was the year where I was licking it the most, was doing the most armed robberies up and down. And then was on Crime Watch. And then yeah, and then I went to prison.
So you were licking it to kind of maintain the image.
Yes.
Because you had to go out and DJ.
Well, I wasn't so much that. I wasn't even big. I was just local.
Just local.
Yeah, the Cool FM thing was like a radio thing. By then I weren't even at. I think the week that I went to prison was the first week I was meant to do my first Cool FM show.
No way.
Yeah, and I was in jail. So that robbed me of my little jungle shine, I would say, my drum and bass shine. And that yeah, I remember. So going to prison, being locked up for armed robbery, and then coming out, it was more like, what's all this garage music? Like, what's all this madness? Like, garage, like, it was all slow. And I remember my foster brother saying, like, yeah, this is what, I heard tunes like, do you like, baby, keep up, oh, sugar daddy, yo. I was thinking, what the hell is this? And I remember I went to my first rave in Stratford Rex, and that's when I saw everyone, like, different. It was like shoes, straights. It was the culture changed, no more off-keys. Nah, man, you can't wear that. I'm like, raw, what man can't wear his off-keys no more. Everything, you just look like a clown. Everything just changed for me. And I was like, raw. And then I remember everyone was like, no, you need to go collie. So obviously I'm South man as well, so obviously I'm man.
Coliseum.
Yeah. So yeah, we're like, yo, collie, exposure. Man can't get him, you need a gal, you can't get him, just man
They'll
and
just
roll
grab you in the queue, like,
you boys out. You know what I mean? So that was my biggest thing to go collie. And when I went in collie, for me, that's when garage music really hit me. Because I was in there and I was like, this is vibes. You get me? Like real, there was no one on their phones, whistles, horns, the tunes are dropping, everyone's dancing, all sorts of thing, bowler hats, it was just on. I was never been to like jungle raves were electric.
It was different because you had like Adrenaline Village where it's just a big warehouse and stuff.
Yes.
And then now we've gone to clubs.
Yes, that's exactly. It was a lot of warehouses to clubs. Yeah. And then that quality thing for me was like, yeah. And then I remember looking on the stage and I see like Viper, DTs and all these going in and I'd be like, right, this is what we used to do like on jungle kind of thing. Like, and they're getting love from the crowd. I'm like, all right. And then obviously linking up back with Wiley and that, and they're like, yeah, they're doing a little DJing thing on Rinse. And then we kind of formed a group called Ladies Hit Squad. And
Ladies what?
Ladies Hit Squad. It was like me, Wiley and Target. Them two were the DJs, I was the MC.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, but to be honest, when I come out of prison, I was just on road. I was shotting. I was out hustling, but I was doing well. Like I was making some good money. So I go radio on my big power bike and, you know, chain swinging and rollies and them like, just like, okay. And then, yeah, literally, I remember one time we done live call-ins and a cat called in on because I gave my phone. I was like, yeah, take my number. Do my thing. I was like, giving up my number. Yeah, guys, on radio, call live call-ins. And then I remember the phone ringing and say, yo, D, can I get yo, look it off, bro. Look it off. Look it up. I'm thinking, shit, I can't use my number. I just realised. Just lost myself for a minute, part-time, innit?
You used the line
as
the calling line.
Yeah, for a minute. I was lost myself for a minute. I don't know what I was thinking that day. But cut a long story short, us, Wiley and that, there was already Pay As You Go on the station. There was Major Ace, God's Gift, Plague, Slimzy. And then Wiley decided to make this tune called Noe. We go to the studio. He wants me to vocal, put a 16 bar in it. He wants Major Ace, R.I.P. Major Ace is dead. He wants him to put a 16 on it, and he was in Pay As You Go. And wants God's Gift to put, he sung the hook, and who else? He put a verse on it, and and God's Gift put a verse on it. So that was the initial coming together for Pay As You Go. I feel like that song put us together. Literally, that was the starting of Pay As You Go. And then the rest was history. Like that song started getting a little bit of love underground. Parallel to that, I was going to a studio in Dagenham, Barking, and that's where I made Serious. And that's where my life changed. Yeah. So, and then Serious was kind of like overtook Noe, put me in a commercial light, and blew me up. And yeah, that was it. The rest was history.
How did that feel for you?
Mad, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what studio, like, I haven't really been in studios and like that before. I'm a live man, you know, just DJing, MCing live, whatever. And so recording in that studio, that was my first, like one of the first beats I ever made kind of thing. You know, big up Carl D, big up GT as well. They kind of like, they were helping me as well in there. They brought me there. So you produced the track as well? Yeah, me and Carl D. Well, I mainly produced it. Carl D helped me. Even GT, you know, I remember playing the rookie bit. Like little, so basically my first production.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I vocaled it. Just had like radio bars. Serious wasn't a structured song that I sat down and wrote the beats. It was just like me, just like, don't get me serious on the hook, and just put little radio bars to fill in the gaps.
So did you know how to put a song together? Like, did you know it was 16 bars and all this sort of stuff?
No, I just had, 16 and 8s I kind of knew from radio, from passing the mic to each other. Like 16, 8s.
Yeah.
So you kind of knew 8 lines is 8 lines, 16 lines is just like, you know what it is. And then, moving on from that, we kind of like, I didn't know that the tune was going to be big. I remember some people saying, I don't like this stuff, because it was too early. Serious was too early. I remember like guys in the record shops were saying, we don't going to play this. They were more like, you get me, never going to let you go, cause you're... And then I'm coming with this, don't let me get you. It wasn't really what they wanted. It was a different shift. But I remember like So Solid in that. I remember seeing them on the TV, like madness, seeing Oxide and Trina. I always tell Trina when I see him this, like, bruv, I'm like, hold on a minute, who are these youths? Turning on my TV. I'm like, right, they got Avex jackets on. They're like man them. You get, that's like us. And they're like, mouth for the mouth, I'm really weird. I'm like, we can be stars, yeah? Oh, hell yeah. We can be stars. hell yeah, that really made me even turn up the thing. Then I used to go out, see Heartless Crew shelling off the dancers.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, this is our thing. So go back, Wiley and them lot, and then we'd be Exposure. And then the pay-as-you-go thing, literally, for me, serious, it obviously was bubbling, but when it kind of blew up, I was out there solo doing PAs and going on TVs, T4 and all of this. And then I remember we went up, when How Pay-as-you-go got really big, we got our first trip to Iron Upper.
That was a place to be.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was like the ends on holiday.
Just to lift up everybody.
The whole country, like accents from Birmingham, like everyone.
Every
hood on holiday, basically, all in one place. And yeah, I mean, even when I was there, I socially them, like, they had it locked. You get me? They had
island.
Yeah, it was their island. They had it sealed. So going there was mad because first time I went there, it was like, yeah, going to the clubs, there's beach, there's strip and whatever. And I remember going to the bar one day and then like the strip part, we went into the first club, little bar bit, and then play serious. Like, then going to the next bar, they play serious again. Next bar. And I was thinking, what? Then everyone used to rub my head, and I'm thinking, right, they're playing my tune. But obviously I'm feeling sweet inside, but face was screw up. And yeah, that was it. That was the holiday when I come back from Iron Upper, my tune, like we was gonna shoot a music video, so I shot it in Burgess Park, kind of kept it back,
Park, you know.
Took it back to South, you know what I mean, brought all my East friends down there.
Yeah.
And that was me, man, that was serious, that was my like introduction in the game. And then Pay-as-you-go was slowly bubbling up. We already had and then we just like, that was the year that we just launched on the scene. I was a front man, you know, and then yeah, Wiley was making his little beats and then Ace was my little thing. And then we just started going out and started performing and started shelling off the raves for a little while. And because everyone had different styles. Everyone, they liked something different from every MC and the DJs and what we was playing. And yeah, we was up and down the whole of the country. Before you know it, we was like celebrities, little hood celebrities were itched on. You had like Soul Solid, Heartless, Pay-as-you-go. So we kind of made it in, and then we kind of opened the door for the whole of the grime sector. Even though people were watching and emulating the street culture, but to get on the platform to be a certified Pay-as-you-go, I feel like we're with the last doors that are open up to grime music, like boom, and that was it. So that was Pay-as-you-go. So.
No, that's...
I got it hair. It's all hair. Timeline is hair.
Yeah.
I ain't missed nothing. I've told this story so many times on Night Off by heart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How was your personal life at the time?
Right. So I was like, I had my deals in it. So I've got my first 150 bags from publishing. I didn't get a record deal. Everyone thought I got signed to a record company. So I didn't have after Serious, I didn't have like a second single or a third single or an album. Like Serious was just like from vinyl, then it got signed and then it went into the charts and then, you know, I thought it was, you know, they always talk in labels, it's gonna be number 1 or number 5 or top 10 and it didn't do as well as it should have, but it was just an underground song. And I didn't have no follow-ups and I got a publishing deal, I didn't get a record deal. So if you got no record deal, you got no follow-ups and that. So did
you own your publishing?
No, I signed my publishing to EMI.
Oh, wow.
I signed my publishing. I got out of it, but obviously.
Yeah, time that served.
Yeah.
But at the time when it was thingy, they were...
Yeah, there was EMI, yeah. They gave me a big check for it, so...
Okay.
So that's when it all changed, you know, you thing, I'm nice now, look at Penthouse, look at Mercedes, it's just, you know, starting and everyone ends is just like, fuck you. Like, who do you think you are? Like, kind of thing. And I just kind of like, for me, it was like, finally, don't have to worry about no feds looking off my door. I don't have to sell no drugs. I don't have to rob people. It felt mad having money legally. And then people stopping you, saying, have your autograph. It was weird.
Must have been weird.
It was weird.
Uncomfortable even.
Well, I mean, you have, everyone's your friend. And that's the part that I didn't understand what was, you know, had to filter through all the people that were just around you for the hype, all the people that are around you because they check for you. And yeah, you know, that for me, it was just like a dream, bro. It was one big dream until it starts comes crumbling down. I say I had about a good 3 years in the spotlight before it turned into grime, before the decline started happening for me. I say the first 3 years.
How was your relationship with your mum at the time?
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. I remember I done a song with T-Bone at the time. He had an album deal with East West Records with Universal, and he gave me 10 grand to feature on his album.
Oh, wow.
And I remember going to my mum's, and he gave it to us in cash. He gave Ace 10, he gave me 10. Remember going to my mum's in cash, and I said to her, Mum, look, boom, music. And she was like, oh my God, what you doing? I was like, no. She goes, oh man, I'm not used to seeing this money like in things. So it was proud. I knew by that time I'd done my family proud, and they all believed in me. They all was like behind me. You know, we just knew that, you know, and yeah, it was a lot, man. My dad, not so much.
Why?
I feel like, no, he wasn't proud of me and everything, but me, I still had a lot of chips on my shoulder.
Okay.
From the past, things that I might not sat down and told him. So maybe when it was coming to like share a little bit of money out or whatever, I was a bit like, what do you want? You know, like, you know, but looking back on it now, I understand why I felt the way I was, but we got a good relationship now and we did after, but at that particular time, we didn't have the greatest relationship. But, you know, because it was like, well, I got here, you're a music man, you never brought me. You know, them way they're like, now it's like, yeah, D, this person wants to support you, that person, you know, so. Yeah, so yeah, I just felt proud for my family. I think that was my drive. That was my biggest drive. It was just like to see everyone in my family smile, be able to look after them, as much as I could.
Yeah.
Because money run out.
Oh, it don't last forever.
Money run out, yeah.
So saying that now, did you make any investments at that time?
Nah,
with
man.
That sort
I was
of money?
living like a shotter. I was still thinking I was that shotter kid. It was like straight, same thing. It just wasn't Pro Beatles no more. It was Z & Co, innit? It was like, go Z & Co, buy Stonies, it was just chains, watches, bikes, cars, no investment. Other than the house that I bought, the flat that I bought, the penthouse. But other than that, and then I sold it. It was silly. It was just like literally, wasn't thinking, I thought this was gonna last forever. I was thinking, this is, because obviously you got a big lump sum and then I'm still playing out. So I'm still getting paid every time I'm doing shows. It just felt like constant.
Yeah, the money's never gonna run out.
Nah.
So the decline happened. Oh, was you in a relationship at this time?
Yeah. Oh, mate, bless her. Like, when I was in prison, I was with one girl, and what happened? We wasn't really, we was together. She used to rap me and whatever. But then that kind of got lodged, and then, so halfway through my sentence, I ended up being single. Towards the end of my sentence, because the girl that I wanted to be with, she ended up being with a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
And you know when you think you're gonna come out to the girl and then she breathes up for him.
Oh.
And so like it was hard.
How did that feel?
Yeah, man. Bare R&B tunes in the cell, you know. Not even trying to come out to Soch. Man, like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, nah, man. What are you sad for, man? You depressed, man. Like, fix up, man. You know, there's no sympathy amongst the man them for heartache. None.
They're just here, heartbroken, no one don't care.
No one give them monkeys, bruv. You can't show no signs of weakness in there. So I'll be in my cells just beating bare R&B tunes. My body all over your body, baby. Like bare R&B tunes, just like, you get me? It's 7 o'clock. Just like...
Just broken.
Balling inside, like,
you don't want it
broken.
to be 7 o'clock.
Yes, humans looking out. Will I ever see her again? Literally, like writing letters, like, you know. And then I find out she's not. It was mad. The fact she's not out with her mum no more and living at her mum. It was a madness. So yeah, I just found out she kind of moved on and was then pregnant. And I had like 4 months left for my son to come out, whatever. Wow. But like, yeah, so. That was the girlfriend at the time. So when I got out, when all this stuff was going on, there was a girl that I actually pursued. And the reason why I say pursued, because I knew her, I had a relationship with her when I was in college.
Right.
And we briefly had a little relationship, but the man then bad-minded me. What are you with him for? Is Maxwell, he's got bad gal or whatever, or what rubbish he was saying. So that
the
never
haters,
happened.
the secret little haters.
Yeah, but they had a little bit of truth in it still.
Oh, so you was out there.
But not with that part. That time I was trying to be...
You was trying to
I was trying to like, this is the one I want to like. And then they mash it up.
Oh.
And then I remember, and I was a bit too advanced. I remember her telling me, I think a couple of years back or whatever, when we butt, she was like, you was just too advanced for me. You was just too far. I was still she was still a V, and I was just on smoke.
She was outside.
I was on smoke.
Yeah, she definitely didn't need you in that.
Yeah. So bless her. And then so that's the relationships I had at the time. When I come out, I pursued her, so I got her, and then yeah, we was together for that first period of when I had my deal and all that stuff. And yeah, yeah, like I said, just a couple of memories coming to my head. But yeah, that was me at that specific time. So 2000 and 2003 was like my little reigning period of being a real pop star, because it was really that. We was like in like Leeds and
Pontins, Butlins. Did you do the school tours and stuff?
Oh, crazy. When Pay As You Go got signed, because I got signed first.
Right.
Had my own little solo career, bubbling with Sirius and stuff, and then Pay As You Go. So it's like I got a double bubble.
Got double. Yeah, so you got the extended version.
I did. And then when Pay As You Go coming on, because I remember doing the TV shows and I'd be like telling them, like, right, look at that camera, it's got the red light on, or like you look this way, or would always do the talking and be like, who's gonna speak for the group? I'd be like, yeah, right, because I was so used to it.
Already, yeah.
So I took that whole thing, and then Pay As You Go kind of blew up, but obviously there was no leader in Pay As You Go. So there was like, Wiley, he's a boss, I'm a boss, this one's a boss, everyone's a boss, everyone's got opinions. And to be honest, we're not friends that hanged around with each other.
Your business associates.
We're like associates where I'm from Leighton, they're from Bow, Plague's from Hackney. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just all different rounds, East London borough, but we knew each other from college and whatever. So when we come to do music, it was like, Rinse FM was like a little community.
A hub.
It had like man from West London, man from South or whatever, but it was that hub of that, you know, the little boys, we couldn't get on, like it was like the little boys and then you had Cool from the daddies, you know what I'm saying? So we was always trying to, you know what I mean? We had our own little community and people used to listen to us because, you know, everyone used to listen to Cool FM, but alternatively we'd be listening to Rinse FM as well. Yeah, man, it was a crazy time. So I knew them not from that time, and yeah, that was it. That was Pay As You Go, I should say. But where the success come in, as you know, we got signed to Sony, then we had the hits, and then we were in the charts, and then commercial success, Top of the Pops, and yeah, you're now on a pedestal, high up there. Everyone knows who you are. The group, money, more money, more exposure, and then yeah, it started to change. We started squabbling amongst each other. Some man wouldn't wake up just to go and do a school tour to promote their own record. You know, Wiley was running around with Dizzy and that, doing Roll Deep stuff, trying to sign a deal for Pay As You Go. It was messy. And then Wiley had his own manager, Nick Cage, which is Dizzy's manager at the time or whatever. So it was just all split up, broken up. Then we had a little bit of East Connection. Them lot were doing bits and pieces. Then we all just exploded into molecules. Like Wiley done Roll Deep, them lot done East Connection, God's Gift done Wolfpack, and then I done Musketeers. And it was just like, we was like a football team recruiting all these newcomers. Like Wiley would have Tinchy Strider, he'll recruit this one, and Dizzy Rascal and Jamaica and and Flowdown, and I'll be like Lady Fury and this one, and then like God's Gift would be like Mucky Wolfpack, Merkston, and all of these. So all of these little things, even Bashy, like with the East Connection, Bashy, and you know, then Shizzle and Napa, and you know, then Lethal popped up with them. Then all these crews started popping up. Like Nasty Crew was like kind of around anyway, and then they would have their thing. Then they'd have then they had Kano. Then they had Gets and DWE, and it's like the whole East London just started. And then South was involved, and Big Nasty, and I remember Big Nasty coming to my studio, and like, you know what I mean, we done a tune, and I remember Suey sent me the vinyl the other day. It's like so many people, even Scraps was come to my studio.
Way.
SOK, yeah, because he was grime. He used to do like him and Flirter and all them lot. It was the whole community, man. It was mad.
So
Early days.
It sounds like Pay As You Go kind of planted loads of seeds for other people.
1,000,000%. I say that we were the grime foundation, but because we was classed as a garage crew, some people wouldn't see us as grime. But how can we not be if the godfather of grime is in Pay As You Go?
Yeah.
You know, and he's only the godfather because he continued to produce the sound, make the sound, and then he continued with the clashes and that. I wasn't really on the clashing thing. I would want to fight, man. Like, yeah, that was my mentality. Like, because they were saying wild stuff about each other, mums and all sorts. And that, where we come from, it wasn't about that. I had that South mentality, like we're gonna have to. And yeah, man, we're just not on that. And even certain East man were like, we're not on that. We weren't on the clashing thing.
And I think that's our heritage, like, because you can't, like if someone says S your mum or something like that,
peak.
that's war. So if anyone says anything about your mum, that's
So it was just like, yeah, I wouldn't have it. I wasn't on none of that rubbish. What else? Yeah, that was it really. So that was grime, and I say that was the birth of grime. And Pay As You Go, as in the end of Pay As You Go, birth of grime. Yeah.
So like basically, grime rose from the ashes of Pay As You Go.
Well, it was just that movement at the time where it started to get dark. I even got a flyer on my phone, and it says, on the lineup, it says, Pay As You Go, Roll Deep, Boys in the Hood, Rough Squad. It's a bag of crews on there. And that just goes to show, and that was like 2003 or something like that. And it goes to show that that's what was emerging. Like Nasty Crew, when Deja Vu, Diesel decided to do like Grime Mondays or whatever it was, Monday on Deja Vu would have East Connection, it'll have Meridian, Skepta and them lot would be on there. It'll have After Us, it'll have Nasty Crew, it'll have Boys, and it was like, and then Rinse FM would have some Grime crew. So it was emerging. So I'll say that Pay As You Go, when we kind of like broke up and started splitting into all these different crews, Roll Deep, you know, East Connection and all of that, that's when grime was like heavily moving. Nasty Crew was there, championing their sound. So yeah, 100%. What else could it have been? The tune started moving as well. They started chopping it up mainly for MCs, all these bootlegs, all these 8-bar rhythms. And yeah, that was grime. That was grime.
So
I lie if anybody, I tell you different.
So you started to mention the decline. How did that feel for you, the decline?
Yeah, so I'll be real with you. I done a mad move. And the move was, I got duped by the newspaper because one day I was sitting in my studio and I got a call, and it was from News of the World. And this guy, Scottish guy, he ended up being in the Bazaar, Sun newspaper, Bazaar. He's called me and he's gone, like, I ain't got no manager by this time. I'm just doing my own independent thing. Got my little Musketeers recording label. I got my studio in Bermondsey, and we're on this grime thing and we're doing it. And he's called me. He's gone, oh, hi, Maxwell D. I'm from so and so from the News of the World, a journalist. Can I come down? I would like to interview you about your career, your thing. So like, cool, come down. So he's come down. So we're sitting in the thing in my studio, having a nice chat, and then he's turning around and he goes, yeah, so look, tell me about the girls that you've slept with. So I was like, what? Like, random, just like that. So I was like, what? He was like, yeah, tell me about the girls you slept with. I was like, random. He was like, look, I heard you slept with this one, that one, this one, that one. So he mentioned 4 names, I'm not gonna mention the names. But I was like, how in the world did you know that I even know these girls? Let alone, I definitely done something with 2 of them. Like
2 out of 4.
2 out of, so how the hell do you even know them? One of them's my school friend, you get me, that I know from school. Like, and the other 2, and the other one, no. You know what I mean? So I didn't even say nothing. I was just like talking. And then before he left, he was like, we'll give you like 10 bags of girl. Like, so I'm new to this world. I don't know about, no one ever schooled me about flipping, what they call it? What they call it? When you sell a story to, what they call it? What they call it? Kiss and tell.
Kiss and tell.
I didn't know nothing about that. I'm just like a little ghetto kid, gone into music. I ain't got no management. I ain't got no media.
Money slowing down.
Yeah, money slowing down.
Yeah.
Got no media training, and that was the first spike. So, but at the time, I remember meeting this guy called Chris Knapp.
Oh, Glamour Kids manager.
And I remember with Chris, I remember going to him and saying to him, like, bro, the paper called me. He was like, yeah, you could get rare, but you know, whatever. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like, let's go down and see what they're saying. Let's see what I'm thinking. What I told my brethren that man's done rare. So my mindset was just.
You're thinking it's not that serious.
I didn't think it was that serious. I didn't think I was that serious. I didn't think I was that even people to care that much on a country. I just weren't thinking about nothing. I was just literally in tunnel mode. Sat down with them, had an interview, asked me some questions, gave them the honest answers, which I shouldn't have, but gave them the wickedest honest answers, so too honest. It just seemed mad. But left there, and then it fell through. Never.
Oh, so they got the story?
Yeah, they got the story, but the guy left the News of the World. He went to the Sun, the journalist, and done the Bazaar column, and that was it. That was it. So months have passed, forgotten about it, where. Funny enough, the 2 of the girls that he was mentioning, I even tried to get hold of to say, yo, you know the paper there?
They know.
One of them got back to me and was like, yo, D. And I'm like, yeah, because blah, blah, blah. And they were like, you don't understand how these journalists move. They tried to snap me here. So she's kind of schooling me in. These time the stories were given, but it weren't coming out. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then randomly, I must have been cutting dubs. This was like a good 6 months later, I was cutting dubs. And then I got a phone call, some number, random guy, never spoken to him, never seen him in my life. And he was like, yo, listen, mate, we got your story, yeah? So listen, look, we'll just transfer the money into your account right now. Do you want to go with these two? And I was like, whoa, because I remember the girl, one of the girls called me.
Told you what's going
so
on.
I was like, nah, don't do that one. Why did I do the most gangsterous one? I picked the worst one. I picked the worst one. And I was like, all right, well, just, all right, cool. We're transferring your money right now. And I didn't have time to think. I was just thinking of bread. The devil was in my head. Yeah, get the money. And then, boom, they transferred it over. I gave the green light. And then it was forgot about it. And then this is my decline. So obviously, when I'm with my son's mum at the time, my eldest son's mum, she works for British Airways. So she was flying. So I picked her up from the airport. We got to the petrol station, bought the newspaper. Like, I think it was the News of the World. That was a Sunday. Oh my Opened it up. And I just saw my bait jaw in there with the whole story and everything. And I was just like, even when I looked at myself, I knew my spirit didn't feel right. Yeah, my spirit didn't even feel right. But the ego kicked in like, it is what it is. You know what it was? Yeah. Literally, it was about 6:30 in the morning, I picked her up. We lived in like Abbey Wood at the time. So I drove from Gatwick to Abbey Wood. When I told you, as soon as it hit 7 o'clock, my phone was going mad. Call after call. From, what you do, bruv? What you do, bruv? Like, you know that man, them like, yo, you're mad, bruv. What's wrong with you, bruv? Max, what the fuck? What happened? You're crazy. What you done? And I couldn't like understand the fathom of it. Oh, you're mad. Until the whole week was just crazy. And then that person actually called me, the girl that she called me, she was like, why did you do that? You know, my brothers are not gonna see this. And I was just like, but I didn't even, we didn't even speak after that. That was it. Psh.
Have you ever spoken since?
Yeah, we bucked up on the show. On the show, she got me, well, if you call it revenge, she got her revenge back on a television show, if you want to call it that. But that was like years down the line. But at that specific time, it was mad because obviously for me, that was the first time I ever experienced anything public backlash. It was like cancel culture at this time, but like then. But it weren't like, I weren't cancelled, I was just gossiped about. And what are you doing that for? Like I felt weird, no one, like it was slander. Like, not slander, it was just like, I felt everyone just move distance.
Separated, no
from
one wanted to have anything
nothing to do with me. Like, no one was like, only the people around me. I kept my cool. I kept a strong, stubborn head.
How did it really feel though? Like,
it was devastating. It wasn't overly devastating until the Birmingham situation happened with the shooting and that. So I think for me, it was like, it was hard because it was like, I didn't really know how to, feel. I've never felt this before. I've never had anyone like just, like raw. Even my mum, she was like, son, why didn't you not tell me? Like,
why would you do that?
Why did you do it? Like, family members, women in my family, they were like, nah, son, that's not it.
That is not it. It
like,
just brings shit on disgrace. Yeah.
And I remember one of my older friends pulled me aside and he was like, you know what, let me tell you something, fam. He goes, you're going to have kids one day. This is before I had a child, He's going to have kids one day and then they'll be able to look up this and you don't want that to be your legacy. You know what I'm saying? And you gave me a proper thing and I was just like, I was still in my 20s, like mid-20s, you know what I mean? Just like over 20 plus years ago. And I was just like, okay. And all I could do was just do music, make my tunes, and it was a hard time. And then I remember I had a booking in Sidewinder in Birmingham. And it's weird how the spirit works because I wasn't gonna go, but money innit.
But your intuition told you not to.
Yeah, because
you went against it.
I put on my tracksuit and I was like, then I took it off. And I sat down on the sofa and I was like, I can't be arsed. Birmingham, from Abbey Wood to Birmingham was just felt like a long one.
Sorry, just to pause you. When your partner at the time saw it in the newspaper, how did it impact her?
So what happened was, it was a transitioning. I just got with my son's mum. and I was only with her, this thing, it was a transition because I wasn't with her when I actually done the story.
The story.
I was with my ex.
Right.
You know what I mean, at the time. And so when I was with her, she was just like,
what is this?
Like kind of thing, like, yeah, like, why did you, like, you know what I mean? She's kind of like, oh, I don't think you should have done it. But I'm ignorant and, you know, I'm a man. She couldn't really tell me much. All she could do was be like, you know. But it really hit home. It really hit home when went to go to do the booking, took off my clothes, went there, went to do the booking. And then obviously all the madness happened, the shooting happened. And after the shooting was mad, it was like, rah, like, man, like, nearly lost his life.
Over a tell-all.
Yeah, like,
Kiss and tell
yeah,
story.
so something that man wouldn't even, I wasn't super rich, it wouldn't get me out the hood or anything. It was just like, I wasn't thinking, I didn't have no malice in my heart, I didn't hate the girl, I didn't want, I was just thinking about my pocket for that specific moment in time.
And you were advised wrong.
I didn't have no one around me.
Yeah.
There was no managers. And that guy that I went
Chris,
and say, he knew what time it was. That's what he was doing for a living, I suppose. That's the celebrity world. Yeah, because after that, I got, there's
a whole lot.
There's a whole lot after that. But what I noticed about certain things, but at the time I was young, naive, didn't really understand the industry to that level. I weren't schooled, I weren't media trained, and I was just literally over my head. So at the time that happened, went to Birmingham, the whole shooting thing happened, that's when it was like, because I didn't know what anyone looked like, and, you know, so I'm just like, imagine masked men just running, like shooting up your car, and you just like, PTSD is just like, raw. Like, no one don't want to speak, like no one in the ends wants to come nowhere near you, no one don't want to book you, thinking your ray's gonna get shot up on that. It was a hard time. That was my lowest point, meaning, not lowest point, there was the low point for what I'd done, but lowest point in what the backlash, how it dealt with me, how I went into myself, you know.
Did you suffer any kind of like anxiety, depression?
Yeah, I did. But no one wouldn't know. My mum was one of those brave kind of kids, was used to putting on a brave face, like going around people, and, you know, when you got a little bit of, like, you know, certain people can't really tell me, it would take certain tough dudes to tell me, like, that's a dickhead thing, you get me? But man, them around me couldn't really say much to me, because what can you tell me? But for me, in my head, I was just like, yeah, it was a sad time, bro. It was a sad time, bro. It was really a sad time. It was a really sad time. It was a sad time because I remember looking in the mirror, thinking, oh, I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to go. I remember, even though I don't have a relationship with him now, but at the time, a guy called T-Bone, he was saying to me, he was like, yo, man, come out, yeah, let's go. He was like, your beef's in Birmingham, bruv. It's like 200 odd miles away. Like, go to, like, you know what I mean? So we get to a couple of Western clubs. Like, it took me a little while to get back outside after the shooting and that. Not that I was hiding.
That stopped your income, right?
Dead in the water. It was like I wasn't a musician no more.
So how did you survive?
I was doing little musketeer stuff, but I wasn't surviving. That's the thing. No one wouldn't really know, but there was a period where I wasn't earning no bread. You know what I mean? Like PRS, like your little tunes.
Yeah, the little
you get
quarterly.
Me? So, but it helped me because it's funny how the gift and the curse, like, it's like all that negativity was happening. I felt really strongly depressed and sad, and I brought it on myself as well. To be fair, I couldn't even blame no one else, you know what I mean? And the industry was just scarce for me. But what I did, because my son's mum was an air stewardess at the time, she used to have given me ID-90, so I used to get standby tickets and fly. Just flew around the world with her. Literally, we went every country she worked in, Mexico, Bahamas, Dominican Republic, everywhere. I was just there.
You've got to give her flowers.
Yeah, big up. She's my son's mum, so we raised up, co-parented, like really good together. But that what saved me, and I grew. I grew in those trips and seeing the world. I saw the world a lot, and you know, diverse, different people, and then it started slowly from 04 that happened, 04 September, so it took 4 years. So even though I missed a lot of the grime, when the Skeptics and all of them lot started getting heavily involved, and the Jamies and that started having their time, I was kind of like out. I was still about, I still come and do little ones and twos and shows and that. But I weren't really heavily at the top tier with the rest of the man them. I was kind of like out, Maxwell, yeah, he done that. That was tainted. I was tainted with that, that Max, he done that. Like, you know, whether they wanted to say it to my face or not, I know that's what they were saying behind my back. Yeah. And then, so to be fair, no one doesn't even know this, but in 05, 06, I was on the roads.
So you had to go back.
Yeah. I was at Portsmouth and I was shooting. I had a line up there, country. My uncle brought me in because he was just like, you need
to make money.
Yeah. So I was hustling. You know what I mean? I was hustling hard. Like I had a little trap house and I was making a lot of money. So what did I do? I wanted to get myself back out there. So I started using that money and paying for my Channel U videos. No, that
Hustler mentality.
Yeah. So my music approach at that particular time was just to be honest. Be honest with who I am. And I remember there was an MC guy that I met and come to my studio. His name's Jay Sticks. He's from Peckham. And I used to just love the way he used to tell stories. I was a big fan of how he used to just talk about his life and the way he put it into flow and that. And I'll be like, yeah, I need to talk about me, like not Maxwell, bad man business, where just the vulnerability about who you are.
You at your essence.
Yeah, and my life. And I remember I wanted to connect with the people, so I done a song for my little sister. I'll Be There, and it was a case of she has got, how do I explain it? It's dyspraxia. So it's a learning disability where she's behind. So she's actually in a care home.
Oh wow.
Not like it's a care home with other people that have disabilities and stuff like that. She's been in there from the ages of 16. And imagine being in these care homes, if she's been in this place or whatever, and I haven't never visited. And I remember one time I went and visited her. This is how was the inspiration to write the song. And I visited her in there. And I was like, rah, I saw the kind of different people that she was living with. And it really hit me like, yeah, I was like, rah, this is my sister. I haven't, all this Maxwell D time, all this, and I never go and check my little sister. Yeah. Broke me. I left, walked out of there, burst into tears. And I remember being in the studio because I was with EMI Publishing. I used to use their studios in West End. And I just had this beat that this guy called Merlin from South.
I remember Merlin.
You know Merlin, yeah?
Yeah, he had a song out one time.
Smiley Coach's cousin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did songs with Merlin back in the
is
day.
It? Yeah, Merlin's my G, man.
Blackout.
Yeah, Blackout.
Yeah. I did songs with Merlin.
Yeah,
my history is extensive.
Wow. Okay.
Shout out
I know,
Merlin.
because this one's a little dark horse, you know. This is a bad girl Trina. So he gave me a beat, and they gave me some bunch of beats and that. And one of the beats that was on there, I really felt it was like an R&B kind of slow kind of thing, something different. I'm from grime garage. It was a different diversity. I wanted to start rapping more and do different stuff, and I vocaled it. And I remember I got Levi Roots' daughter, who's from Leighton, Joanne Caesar. Okay. Yeah, so she's on the hook for me. I'll Be There. And I remember shooting the video, paid for it myself. Put it on Channel U, and it was like #1 on their thing for ages. And I remember people coming to me in the street and saying, yo, bruv, that tune you done for your sister, deep, bruv, deep. Shaking my hand like some real goon bags, you know? Like, yeah, that one there touched me. So I think, and it helped me to resonate, and that's when I was like, boom.
Yeah.
I'm putting it back on my name, I'm investing in myself. So that helped me build my confidence back up. But I still never went to Birmingham though for a long time. But yeah, it was, the grime thing for me was just like, I'll do it and be a part of it and Musketeers and whatever. But by 05, 06, I was just like, nah, man. I just want to be an artist, and you know what I mean? And then I met my friend in America on MySpace, and then I traveled to LA to do music. And then by the time 2008 come, like Funky was here. And then Funky was coming. I remember being in my studio, just downloading, like jumping on every Funky instrumental, putting it up on Facebook, send space, so they can download it for free. Yeah, that was it. And then, that's how Blackberry Hype come out of that one. And then, then I was back outside. I was like, they were like, "Bruh, is that, why you're the same guy that sings serious?" I'm like, yeah, it's me, man, it's me. And then that was it. I was back outside, like nothing never happened. Nothing never happened.
Again.
Yeah. So that was my low, and that was the biggest low and the hardest low to deal with. And I come out of it. You know what I mean?
Did you ever apologise to the lady?
Yes. So she got me. I'll give you a joke. So 010, when I'm in the midst of my Blackberry Hype now.
You're back outside.
Back outside, smashing it, doing PAs all over the place.
Money's coming in.
Money's flowing.
It's better money than the first time round.
Yeah, because we was traveling. I ended up going to outside of England.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going to Lithuania to perform it, France, and all different places. Just Funky was.
Did Blackberry ever give you any kind of?
That's why I ended up doing my own drinks, but I'll get to that. But yeah, so I got invited to go. I remember I got this email one day and it was like, yeah, Never Buzzcocks show.
I remember that, yeah.
Like,
Never mind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah, they were like, come on the show and da-da-da-da. And I was like, huh? And whatever. And they said, they goes like, yeah, like, you know, the panel's going to be like N-dubs and blah, 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 whatever. I thought, do I need it? I don't really need the money. Like, I thought, but good promo.
Yeah.
You know, like my promo head's on. I'm like, good promo.
This makes sense.
Yeah. And I thought, all right, cool, let me do it. Gone there and they gilled me. They put me in a green room. I got there. They put me in a green room separate with no TV, so I can't even see the show. So you don't even know
the show's going on.
Who's on the show.
Wow.
Brought me out to do the little rehearsal bit. No panels, no one was there. They just said, yeah, you got to stand on that X and they got to remember who you are, play your thing, whatever. And that was it. And in agreement. So then it was like, right, time to go.
Did you not think it was a bit strange?
Not until afterwards I saw the devils.
The pattern, yeah.
So I was there like, right, you ready to go on set? Yeah, cool. Boom, walk into the set, walk into the set. As I got to the actual set and I saw the set pan out like that and I see my girl in there, I was like, oh my gosh. They tried it.
You can't even turn around.
I could have, but I don't know, something told me, be professional. What an idiot, you know what I'm saying? But something said, no man, be professional. Do you know what? To be honest, a part of me felt, I want to see you because I actually want to talk to you in person.
Yeah.
So much has gone on.
Yeah.
So a part of me wanted to stay. And the thing, I didn't know she was going to flip on me. I didn't know what she was going to say. So when they were doing what they were doing and then it got round to me and then she was like, no, I can't really comment because I kind of know my man. And I was just like, okay.
They knew.
Yeah. And then she was like, yeah, he sold a story to me blah, blah, years ago, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, in front of the whole audience. So I'm standing there and I'm like, rah, this girl's really going for me. She's really going for me. The ground could have just ate me up and I just froze. Like, I wasn't angry, I wasn't mad.
You feel it was justified though in reflection?
Nah. Because if I really be honest, the whole thing after the shooting and that, I thought like that was enough. Like, I'm not saying it was anything to do with her or anything like that. But I'm just saying, for me, if her city felt like that, or if, you know, because that's what it was, obviously, felt that, you know, he violated her, she's from the ends and blah, 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 then I felt like that was justified, you get me? Because I didn't come back on some rangings and like, right, we're going to come back and, you get me? You tried to, I could have took it that far as well if I felt like I wasn't in the wrong. I was like, right, come and go and get my boys and come up here. But it weren't like that. I was like, right, yeah, you know what? I was in the wrong. Let me take the L and go about my business. You get me?
Let me not
and I didn't have no scratches on me. I'll come out all right. So I was like, okay, cool, I can hold the L. But so when I saw that, that part was, it was upsetting because I thought it was over. But she obviously is a separate entity and felt she needed to say what she needed to say. So when it ended now, some guy come up to me, he was like, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cool, man. And he just kept on following me around the set, like, and I was like, what's wrong with you, brother? And he goes, backed out his badge, he goes, I'm undercover. Like, feds and that, yeah, real thing. He was like, I'm undercover. And I was like, undercover? What the hell? He goes, how you feeling? You feel cool? Like, he was just asking me mad questions, and I'm like, I'm cool, brother, I'm cool. And then he's like, yeah, don't worry, you know, and I was like, yeah. And then one of her brothers was there, and he was just like, he goes, you know, good publicity, bad publicity. And I said, yeah, cool. But I wanted to speak to her, but I didn't get a chance to speak to her. I kind of just left. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of the apology, because in my head I knew that was going to air. And I knew that it was going to be like, oh yeah, whatever. But I didn't get a chance because I thought I wanted to. So instead of being mad and cussing and saying, F you, I can't believe it, blah, 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 and just be the truth. So I just went and just recorded the thing for YouTube and I just gave her an apology. I just said, direct, look, I'm sorry for that, because I knew I grew from that. I knew I wasn't that particular person. I knew I got like entangled in it. And I just apologised. I was like, yeah, man, own up my hands, I shouldn't have done it, and then sent it on the thing. I think Twitter was just landing. And remember someone saying, she said, about time or something like that, or whatever. But that was the only way I could apologise at that specific time.
Because you hadn't had any
we had no interaction at all. And then after that, I just got on with it. A lot of people called me afterwards like, well done, well done.
What took you so long to apologise?
I had no number, I had no contact.
Okay.
Like, we didn't have social media like that.
You know what? I'm forgetting.
Yeah, there was not. I couldn't just DM no one.
You don't have the BlackBerry pin.
Nah, there was not. It was not.
You can't send them
Yeah, there was
message.
not. I didn't have no pin for her. You get me? So I didn't really know how to. I was hoping to meet up along the lines and see her and apologize. I was from the first year of that happening, like before the shooting situation. I was ready to say, I done anything. Yeah, I done shit. I don't know why. Like, the man then come and bend up my head. You know what I mean? So I didn't get a chance to. So all those years that went past, and when it happened, she got her one back. I was like, all right, cool. Apologise straight away. Yeah. And tried to just left it. And then I think the year after, I ended up performing in Birmingham. Yeah.
And everything was fine.
Yeah, I met certain people. We call it the city people in the city or whatever. And yeah, we just reasoned, Bonazoo and whatever, and then, you know what I mean, just left it as that. And it's like, I even said to them, like, I'm not that kind of person. Apologies if everyone felt offended or violated like that. And we just reasoned, and it was a squash. And I have still not seen her to this day. To this day, from all of them years ago to now, I still don't know nothing about her. But I don't have no malice or nothing. I just praise her, big her up. If she's another sister, like, could be like my sister, could be like my mum. And you just learn. You just had to learn from it. You get me? Something that, luckily, like, if it was council culture, I'd have been out.
100%. It's different now.
They would have wrapped me up.
Yeah.
Coffin, box, nailed, shade borough, boom, gone again. You know what I mean?
I hear you. And I like hearing the growth. I love hearing the growth.
It's important, man.
So, did they ever sponsor you, BlackBerry?
No. So
Rude.
we tried to get a sponsorship and they parred me. We tried to contact Motion because Motion owned BlackBerry, Motion, and it was Air. So I was reading a book at the time, 50th Floor by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. Yeah. And then I had this guy from Leeds and he was like, yo, man, do you know about trademark intellectual property? And I was like, no, what the hell is that? It's like, right, anything you can hang, whatever, you could just slap it on. You don't know that JVC and Rare and Phillips and all that. It's just the warehouse. They just slap the name. You're just paying for
the same place.
So I was like, what you telling me? Like, as a shotter, like, I'm like, what? You can just go and spend your money. He's like, yeah, man, you should do a drink. And I was like, you think so? And he's like, yeah, man, trust me, because we was watching, I get money, 50, and he actually told you what he did. Yeah. He got vitamin water, sold it to Coca-Cola for 50 mil. The fuck? Get a baby by me here, So that was our mindset at that little period. So I was like, okay, I got to emulate that formula. Found a plant in Lithuania. And then I done my first promos, and then so I just done BlackBerry Hype energy drinks first. I put my face on the can, some little paper rounds, and then I actually got a proper shipment. I remember them coming to my house with the lorry, coming down with the thing, doing the big cans of drinks just there, my face on it, black of the berry, sweet of the juice, put them all in my back garden, and I was off. Sail and return. I was outside with my drinks like it was legal. I was like, legal. I was like,
legally shotting.
Yeah, come with my little poster, my little cans of drink. And then when I used to go to the dances and that, I'd just be giving out the drinks and be saying, I'm on the BlackBerry Hype. And then people giving the cans and they'd be like, are you really for real? Is this guy really, like, tasting it? Like, it's Red Bull. It's his Red Bull. So I'd be like, yeah, bro, that was me. Like, I didn't get no sponsorship from them, so that was my version of like, you don't want to sponsor me, we're going to do it myself.
Yeah. And so why did you stop doing the drinks?
So I collaborated with a guy from Birmingham called Taboo. They had an energy drink called Taboo, and then we come together and called Taboo BlackBerry Hype, and then we cleaned up some units. We must have at least over 400,000 cans. Wow. Yeah, and then we discontinued it. He moved to Dubai at the time. He was on some next mission, and he broke even, made a little bit of money. And then we broke even after we reloaded and broke even again, and then we just discontinued it. But I had my name. I got BlackBerry. You couldn't register a fruit. If anyone knows, you can't register fruit. So I had to register the initials and I had to call it BlackBerry Hype. You get me? In the actual intellectual property. Yeah. And bought my classes and that. Yeah. And that was. Yeah, it was. I was running around with it. I remember even when Mega Man gave me a call one day and was like, "Yo, man, these drinks, man, And I was like, yeah. So what do you want to do with it? What are you trying to... And I was just like, I got a partner. So just little things. I remember little calls and different people shouting me about the drink. And yeah, man, I was on my team. It really showed me that the roads are not educated with information. because I'm telling you, it's no different from shotting food in the roads.
Look, I say this all the time. So I used to work in a job centre. I used to manage the 18 to 24-year-olds. So you know what kind of age group?
100%.
Brixton.
Woo!
So I'm seeing Stockwell. I used to manage Stockwell Job Centre.
Oh, gosh.
So I used to see young boys coming in, and I'm saying to them, you've got certain skills, and I'm breaking the skills down because it's transferable. And I feel, I'm always talking about transferable skills, but I feel like the skills that you have being on road, if you can pivot that into like a normal job, like you're gonna succeed.
100%.
Like you're gonna succeed. If you give the same commitment.
Well, my philosophy is every drug dealer is a potential scientist, especially the ones that are whipping it up in the kitchen, because you're fasting with chemicals, your biocarbs, your whatever.
Some of them are good, some of them are good, but some of them are not
killing
too
people
good.
out there, you know what I mean, overdosing. But that's what it is, and like, you know, it's no different from like selling properties and stuff like that. It's all a mindset of buy and sell. It's all transferable.
Supply
definitely.
and demand,
Yeah.
Networking, communicating with your clients. Clientele's a bit different, but
yeah, but even some people used to treat the nitties really good. If you wanted to last, if you treat the nitties good, you get me. Nitties have to be respected. You can't just treat them like, yo, well, fucking come here.
Yeah,
nah.
because they're not coming back.
Listen,
they're gonna go to the next.
Look after them sometimes.
Yeah.
Throw in an extra one. You know what I mean? Make them go where he's smiling. I love D. I love D. You know, his stuff's just real big. He's the big ones. Like, give him a little 0.6 or 0.7. You get me? Not the average 0.4. You know what I mean? It was different. Yeah, but yeah.
So, we've covered music.
Yes.
We've covered a bit of your personal life.
Yeah, definitely.
We've covered trauma.
Trauma, big time.
I want to know, how did you move from all of that into the space of having your own mentorship company?
Yes.
And going back into prison.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was mad. Yeah, that was crazy.
And like speaking to the prisoners.
Yeah.
Like, you're a role model.
Well, another word, again, I always break it up. This ain't a role, and I definitely ain't a model.
Oh.
So we don't say role model, we just say, you know, inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, inspire. I'm just here to
You're
inspire.
inspiring people.
Yeah. So for me, I had other stuff going on in my personal life. Enough stuff that pivots, man, to do certain things with what's going on in personal life. I was living in America, broke up with my youngest son's mum.
Okay, so you moved, when did you move to America?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I've got a best friend in LA, he's my best friend. I haven't really spoken about him on this podcast much, but he's like my right hand man. Like he's like Hollywood, like he's managed by Sal & Co. He's like my film production partner. We got a film production we got like a sync company together where we do lots of stuff in films for movies. I've got like songs in Ted, songs in like Roadhouse, it's just tons and tons of Hollywood stuff and Netflix movies and whatever. So that was a whole completely lane. I haven't really spoken about it today, but that is mainly why I was always going back and forth to America. Plus I had my baby, my son's mum, the eldest son's mum, what started that journey because I used to get the cheap flights. Yes, I was always going there. So years down the line, I have a friend who's got a sister, and my friend ended up moving to America with his missus. And then the sister of his wife ended up moving to America with them, and they got their family out there. But I was going to LA. They were living in Florida. Right. Yeah, and I'm going to LA. So it's just a case of broke up with one of the girls, the relationship I was in at the time, broke up with her, started speaking to this girl, my son's mum, you know.
Yes.
I just had enough of England. I was like, and then I had opportunities in America. Yeah. And it just made sense. Like, and I weren't getting on with my eldest son's mum at the time. The co-parenting was like muggy at the time. And I just had enough. I said, right, I'm gonna get up and go. So I just like sold my car, got rid of all my winter clothes. Yeah, literally. Like, I'm going to move in Miami. You know what I'm saying? That was it. I was announcing it. I went to go. It was meant to be deeper than what it was. I went over there, was with her parents at first. Well, that was the plan, was to, you know, get out of there, get a place of our own, whatever. While I was there, she got pregnant, and then it just went pear-shaped from there. Right. Yeah, and because it went pear-shaped from there, we had an argument when I was over here, and then they just locked me off completely, shut me there. So
did that stop your connection with your youngest son?
I didn't get to see him until I was 6 years of age. I met him where are we now? We're in November, right? Yeah. So I met him last year, September, for the first time ever.
Ever,
yeah.
So you weren't there for the birth?
No, I didn't see what he looked like until he was 2, and that was because she sent me on Facebook. She sent me some pictures after, because we was going the argument. Obviously, I won't talk about online. Me and her are blessed now. We're over it. It's all water under the bridge. At the time, she was enemy number one, and we spoken about it. But she was going through what she was going through. They felt intimidated the way I was handling things, because when we had the argument, I said some mad stuff, some road stuff. You get me, like. Because, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, you know what I mean? You're gonna not see your child. And I've already experienced like wars with my first baby mother.
So you're like, I'm
and
not
the second
letting this
baby
happen
mother.
again.
Yeah, you get me? Because I got 3 baby mothers. So I got a daughter as well. So yeah, that was really hard for me. So I really went for it for the first 2. And then now she was giving me problems while she's pregnant. So that just went mad, and they just cut me off like one time.
How did that feel for you?
Broke me, man. Yeah, even.
Are you an active dad?
100%.
Yeah.
With my eldest, from birth to 16.
Yeah.
And it's still going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my everything, man.
So that must have really cut you up.
Yeah. Fully. When I say, because a lot of people say when I say certain things, I don't understand. I used to say, why do I get the worst mums? Like, they weren't the worstest mums. 2 out of 3, I done good. Yeah, I'm not gonna speak on the other one, because it's still pending. You know what I'm saying? But 2 out of 3 is quite good. You know what I mean? Considering certain men don't ever see their youths, they don't go and check on their things. And for me, at that specific time, it was my bond with my son was just like that. It was so tight. So to know that I had another son out there, and I didn't even know what he looked like, or was at the birth, or never is in another country. And I was told if I come over there, they'll call the police, they'll just arrest me, and America ain't trying to get shot. You know, it was peak. So for me, I was broken. It broke me. I used to have dreams about what he looked like. I wonder what he would look like. I wonder if he looks like me. It was hard.
How did your parents feel about that, knowing that they've got a grandchild out there?
Yeah, they were cussing. You know what Jamaicans, you know what I mean? They were cussing. But, you know.
Anyway, so back to my question. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
No, that's cool. It's cool because it's real. It's real.
And I'm definitely someone that supports fathers being
thank you.
in their children's lives. Yeah, it
is very important.
Like, as much as a mother's important in a child's life, so is a dad.
But to be fair to her, she realised that after 2 years, the only thing for me was she met someone, and that person she put that person in front of my son and made him become the dad. That broke me more. So imagine, obviously we spoke now, she was like, I was just doing it to hurt you, like the first time. But you got to think about it. If last time I saw you, when I left the country, you was like pregnant. We was talking up until you was like, I don't know, 8 months pregnant. And then like 4 months, obviously she said nothing was going on, but even she used it to hurt me. Like 4 months afterwards, with the picture she put on Facebook, and then it broke me. So I was hating her. So even when she did, like, we started talking after 2 years, because obviously I was messaging and all the rest, and it didn't fall on deaf ears. But when she did open up the communication lines, I was still angry. I was still so.
And you've seen the pictures with her.
Yeah, it was mad. It was crazy. So I was still full of venom, and we couldn't really see eye to eye. So I got the first set of pictures of what he looked like as a baby. That broke me even more. And and then she was whatever. So then another 4 years that didn't speak. Another 4 years went past. You know what I mean? Until she turned around and said, like, listen, I'm gonna be in England on this specific day. Do you really want to see your son? I'm like, of course. And then when I saw him, he just come running at me like.
And he knew who you was.
Of course. Spitting image.
So she still let him know that you're the dad.
I'm not sure when she introduced it, but she always let him know that he's got another dad in England or whatever, even though he called that one dad. So, and I said we're cool now, but it took a moment. She saw that I grew, like the growth, and this is where I'm going to lead you to why I decided to think. So when all that hurt and pain was going on, I moved on, started realising about life. Then I met my wife. She's
yes,
from
I noticed.
Yeah. She's from my area, Leighton. So went all the way around the world to go and marry a girl from Leighton. Joke thing.
Where were you all the time, wife? Why couldn't he find you the first time round?
Nah, because we met in Napa once, a long time ago, and then we took the picture. That's what was the initial spark. And she's like, oh, I know who you are, you're Maxwell D, where. She was like, 9 times, I think. She was with someone, I was with someone. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. She was like, yeah, I'm from your area. I was like, what? She's like, she told me where she lived late. And I was like, oh, my mum lives around the corner. Like, so that was an issue. And then that was it. Years went on. She kept on saying to me now and again online, she'll touch base and be like, I'm going to send you the picture. I'm going to send you that picture. And I'll be like, yeah, of course. And then, And then until I went all the way to America, all of that madness happened. And while all that madness happened, I come back to England with my toe between my legs, like, back to the cold, you know what I mean?
You have to go buy back the winter clothes again after you got rid of the clothes.
Of that. And we just like, I remember, I don't know, I was talking on Facebook one day and I was like, oh my God, I got my first grey hair. And then she commented and she was like, oh man, that's not grey hair, it's called wisdom highlights.
I love the wisdom highlights. I love it, I've got a few.
Yeah, she goes, now wisdom highlights. And I was like, for real? And then I think she DM'd me and she was like, are you in America or England? I was like, no, I'm actually back in England. Well, go on anyway. You know what I mean? Well, go on. Yeah, what you said? She's like, yeah, of course. What, you single, yeah? Or you with someone? She's like, no, I'm single. So she goes, what about you? I said, yeah, I'm kind of single as well.
Timing, let's go out on a date.
I said,
let's
I've got to go to America, but when I get back, because I had to go to do some music, I said, when I come back, we'll go on, like, you mind if I take you out? She's like, yeah, of course. But when I went to America, I went for about 2 weeks. We spoke every single day for that 2 weeks, FaceTime, and it was just crazy love bombing. And then when I got back, met up, and I just, it just knew. We met up in our park in Leighton, Sidmouth Park. And it was just real, just like soppy stuff. But yeah, we met there, and it just happened.
Clicked.
Yeah, it clicked. And then
no novi straight off, just in the park. No Novikov. No, nothing, just in the park.
Yeah, we went on dates, proper dates, but we just wanted to meet there because we both knew memories of this park as our childhood. So we were just there, and then that was it. We started our journey from there. And then, but 2 years later, I proposed to her when she took me away for my birthday, and then I proposed to her in Santorini. Yeah.
Ooh, Santorini is nice.
Well, we went there for the whole trip. It was Greece as well, but with Santorini as well. So that was the whole engagement trip.
Beautiful.
Took pictures and stuff like that. And then we got married 12 months later in Cornwall in a castle.
See, guys, I just want to let you know, not 10 years, not 18, not 25 years. You can get engaged within 2 and get married a year later.
Okay, this is the new advice version. Don't waste your money for people just to eat and, you get me, and sleep. It's a waste of money. If you want to love someone, you could do it in the registry office and have a party. Don't let them blag you. It's all a par, yeah? We spent a lot of money. You could have gone and get a deposit for a yard. You can go and put some money in some business. Do not get tricked. You don't have to do the whole...
show.
Yes, the show thing is for other people. You get me? You won't even talk to your groomsmen or your bridesmaid after half the time after that. It's a madness. Like, I understand it, and why she gets it, we both get it now. We're like, what did we do? You know what I mean? But one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
But just that 124 hours though. After that, it's a wrap.
Why?
Yeah. So I think registry office and a big, massive party, because that's what it really is, isn't it? That's what it really is if you really put it down to.
I just feel like you don't need too much people. If it's got to be 10, have 10. Just your loved ones, your immediate ones, you don't need to do it.
Yeah, people are getting bags. I personally think it's for the women. Like when I say for the women, I say that a lot of the women want that fairy tale. Want to put my dress on, want to come out, my bridesmaid up there. Some people want to do it in the church. They're religious, and you know, I'm more spiritual, so it was a bit different for me. So
I know so many people that had like 25 bridesmaids, and they don't talk to
badness.
24.
It's beef. It's beef. It's bare beef, man. It's bare beef. That's the most stressfulest thing is organising a wedding. Like, yeah.
Married man. How many years in the game now, marriage?
It's 5.5 now.
5.5. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's not easy though. Like,
no.
and I would say, well, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm saying it's not easy as in like, you have to work. Like, you have to work. You have to want to be in it. You have to understand another person. Like, you have to grow because, you know, learning someone else and their flaws and their things and the ups and the downs and this and that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and, you know, and I tell you one thing about marriage though, it taught me a lot about myself.
Right. Right.
Taught me a lot about myself, like who I am, certain traits, you know, mindset, growth. And that's why with her, she was the one that sparked the initial, you're more than Maxwell D.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like her.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, you do all of that and all of that, and that's great and all of that, but you know, why don't you think you're more than just that person? Because I never know no different.
Good woman.
I didn't know nothing else. I was like, she was like, and then I remember my son, he was playing one song one time, and I looked at him and I'm like, rah. And then I was like, I feel like, I don't know. And then I got another, it was like all the signs, and then I got another call from my friend. He works in a prison. He's a prison, some random, he was at my wedding and stuff like that. It's a guy that I met along my journey, and he was like, yo, I'm in prison, and do you know you got bare fans in there? So obviously, man are locked up over the years, innit? So they're like, yeah, we don't know Maxwell D. They're like, yeah, it's my brethren, like, da-da-da. So he was like, look, some guy comes in there, he does a talk, he gets paid, da-da-da-da. You know, what? He gets paid how much? To go and give what talk? And then I used to do some voluntary stuff with this group called Foundation for Life in South London. I used to just volunteer, come there to give back and stuff like that. And over the years, I've done some talks in Houses of Parliament. I even see Jaja in there one time. You know what I mean?
Shout out
Jaja. So like Houses of Parliament with some charity called Kids Count. And yeah, literally went to this lady, big up Jazz, sat down with Jazz, and she helped me, like, so I said to her, look, I want to write a workshop, like, you know what I mean, music workshop. And so she kind of broke it down how to write it and whatever. I wrote my first workshop, and then I'll never forget my first delivery was in the Mount. Goonbags, straight away, threw me in the deep end. Like, went in there, and it was just like, rah, on the job, man them, ignorant, yeah, bent up face. And yeah, but it was mad. It was mad walking through the doors opening, the keys.
You're going through a different door now.
Yeah, but I'm
a different door now.
Yeah, like I see the outside.
Feel?
Yeah, reception.
Because you're going through the different door. How did that feel?
Weird. I was just looking around, screws, but I was smiling because I was thinking, rah.
You get to go home.
And when I was them, so straight away I was like, started saying, this is who I am. Then I got man from the ends in there, South man's in there. He's like, you don't know about Maxwell D? I'm imagining, you know? I'm like, oh shit, oh what going fam? This man, that man, he's like, you know? And then so it was just started to ease, and then I started to deliver my course, and it weren't bad, man. And then I started giving them information and knowledge, and they were like, raw, for real. I didn't know about this trademarking thing. Yeah, for real, what man can do with that? So yeah, and this and that. And they was doing music and talent, and then we all performed at the end of it. I'm like, guys, please don't swear, you know, like, in front of the prisons and that. Best that I knew that was my new calling. Yeah. And then also, as well, I have a son that I just started realizing, what do I want to leave behind?
What's your legacy?
Yeah, like it's all good. I always say to people, it's all good being on the stage, being Maxwell D, you know, doing songs and stuff like that, but that's all self. Like, what can I do for the world that my kids are gonna grow up in? Like, how can I affect?
Children.
Yeah. How can I affect change? Like, what's my part? What's my piece? Put a statue of me one day and say that he helped millions of people, like, or whatever. Like, just not just like, yeah, I'm great for musician and music. So that was my whole plan. And then afterwards, I started going into schools, and I wanted to learn a bit more about the teaching and the mentoring side. So I started going from school to school to school to school. That's how I bucked my man Andrew in one of the schools as well. And then, yeah, I met so many different people. Then my skills started getting better. And then I took it out of there. Then I started going to universities. I started giving talks in there, Greenwich University, different places. Then I done some other prisons. And then, yeah, and then it just expanded. And then I got into another charity, big up Local Village Network. I become ambassador for there. So then I met more connections. Then they're like, oh, this guy Maxwell D does music stuff. And then I started enhancing it. And then until like I opened up a charity, a Serious World CIC last year, and just been developing that. And then the stuff in America, our sync company as well. And then now I'm doing workshops in the film studios, in the Garden Film Studios.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
What does that workshop look like?
So it's an 8-week workshop. And I'll just go through music production, songwriting, business, like personal grooming, hygiene, bits about street life, introduction about myself, how to get in the music industry, from streaming, PRS, a little bit of management, positive material to read, like couple games as well, like mind games to kind of mind games.
Icebreakers,
yeah. You know, I know I was just like saying mind games. I know it's funny, yeah. Like icebreakers, and then in the end to do the grand finale for them to perform, build up their confidence, and everyone gets a certificate.
And how would a young person get onto that course?
So at the moment we are, you can check out my Instagram, or you can go onto the Hive at Garden Studios, 16 to 30-year-olds. There's an application that you can apply and follow the steps to send in a video, etc., to be on it. It starts in January. Yeah. So that's the film studio. So that's that there. Then also I got the lot of songwriting stuff for the movies and that stuff. If there's any songwriters, artists out there that wants to get into sync and scoring in that way, check me out, check out the Burkle. That's Hollywood to London, so yeah.
What does sync mean?
So when you see like songs in movies, and then they got like songs and at the end, the beginning trailer, the end trailer, or in the movie, soundtracks and stuff like that, EastEnders even, you know what I mean? You hear the music in the cafe, they might be playing it in the background. You think, right, that's Steph London. That's Steph London's song in the background. Like that's scoring, syncing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's proper money, because the publishing side of it ain't no streaming $4,000, like a million streams. Some joke money. The 3.5 bags for 1 million streams. Like this is proper money, like 50-50, depending on the deals and whatever. Publishing, so retainer comes to you.
So you're placing songs.
Yeah, you're placing some, but it's still and try have to hit the target. Yeah, it's not just necessarily okay. You get briefs depending on what company it is, what film it is. Like we just done Sonic the Hedgehog that's coming out, the new one that's coming out in December next month. We just done that trailer, so we're on the trailer for that. We done Roadhouse with Conor McGregor. We got about 4 couple songs in there. Got other stuff. We pitched for Transformers. We didn't get that one. You know what I mean? We literally wrote a song for it. Was like placed it in there, and then last minute things change. You know what I mean? And like we just done a song for Tyler Perry stuff, Medea, some soca stuff. Yeah. So it's just literally this is all behind the scenes, and you know what I mean? So you'll see. I'll send you my trailer and that. So all the stuff that we're doing, like Fast and Furious 5, Ted. Like I got like songs on Netflix, movies that you know. So it's just been in and out of that world for a lot. I'm working on some FIFA stuff at the moment. And World Cup, so I say FIFA, World Cup, I'm doing some songs for World Cup at the moment. Oh, wow. Yeah, so hopefully we get a couple touchdowns. That's for next year, because it's in America next year. Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
So that's where I'm at. That is where Mr. Maxwell D's at, plus trying to release new music and enjoy that.
I saw your new song that you put out.
It's just like, the music thing for me now is just a playground of, this is what I am, this is what I do, I love it, it's a hobby, it's a sport, I enjoy it. I'm just competing with myself. Like just trying to be better than me.
That's a good space to be.
Yeah, it is.
Not trying to do it to hustle for money, to pay the bills.
No, I'm not interested in that. Like I do my shows here and there and that, I'm working tomorrow, whatever, but I ultimately just love, like, I've got my own studios, you know, I record, I just enjoy it and put stuff out. And yeah, just kind of every year, just every month, or better songs and different styles. That's just me. That's me. So yeah.
No, don't be sorry. I'm taken aback about the many things that you're doing. What is in the future other than the things that you've mentioned so far?
So the point is for me is to kind of open up, get my charity to a certain point. I'm really early with my charity.
Name of your charity?
Serious World. Nearest, yeah. So Serious World CIC, I really want to grow my charity. I really want to get to a point where I am doing big, massive galas, big charity events, putting on for the community, for my areas I grew up in, for the kids, giving them some employment. You know, that's my aim, to become a public figure of change, of helping them, because I know the mindset, I get it. You know, we know what these kids want. We want bread. Like, let's just not just cut all the rubbish. There's a lot of mental health going on in the hoods. So there needs to be more therapists and more counsellors. You know, I have a therapist. Like what? All the stuff I've been through off the rails.
Yeah, you need it.
Like, don't feel tough to go and sit down and speak to a therapist. This doesn't, bad man, road man, whatever. There's no discrimination.
Question, your therapist, are they Caribbean?
Yes, she's black. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, she's a woman and she's black.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was important for me.
Very important.
Because I needed to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I don't think
There's
that you can.
nuances, yeah.
How are you going to relate to me?
There's cultural nuances. I think if you are going to get a therapist, you should try and get someone that's from your culture, simply because there's cultural nuances that you don't have to now explain.
Yes.
Because they just automatically know. Like when we spoke about discipline.
Yeah, you knew.
I knew. I didn't have to think what that's like.
Yeah, you just know.
Just know.
Because you've been through it. So that's basically, for me, that is like, all those things that help me to grow. You know, speaking to someone, having a proper therapist, you know what I mean? I still, speak to her up to this day, you know what I'm saying? So nothing has changed. And it's not just for when I'm having rubbish times.
Hit the bottom.
Yeah, it's just to balance me out, period, you know? So yeah, it's important.
Okay. And lastly, so you said that's what you're working on.
Yeah, trying to
in terms
grow
of the
my charity. Yeah.
What's your mission statement for your charity?
So that's a good question, because I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. But I feel like it would be, I don't know. I don't want to say it until I'm fully secured with that. But I have a manager now, and bless up my manager. She's working on a lot of stuff with me, so we are definitely tying that up. I've got new releases. Me and Master Steps have got a new song.
Oh, shout out Master Steps.
Yeah, big up Steps. Yeah, I know. Big up my boy Steps as well. We got a new song coming out soon. I got some other stuff. I'm outside. Yeah. I'm outside. I'm outside. I'm just grateful, blessed to have gotten this far from where I've come and all the hurdles, and now everything makes sense. All the doors that closed on me, it made sense, because they didn't. I don't know who I would be if I was that person. All the things that went wrong, all the things that gone right, like I'm just taking it as like water now. Like sometimes I was told that, one bottle of water in this environment might cost, if you go to the shop, the water costs what, £1?
Yeah.
In the ends. Like
you go Westminster.
Right, it's about £5. You put on a plane, it's a tenner. You go certain places. So depending where this bottle of water is your value.
Yes.
So I've learned that very I know my worth now, and I'm working on positioning myself in the right places for my worth. And it doesn't necessarily has to be me in front of the microphone. I always go show support. Done AG's thing the other day, and shows love to the community. I'm just here, and I always want to connect with young people and the next generation, and to try to show them, help them not to make the mistakes I made, and blah blah blah. And also, my son's watching. My son is watching me every time. Sons. Yeah, sons.
And your daughter.
And daughter. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the reason why I say sons more for the boy side of it, male side of it, but my daughter is watching me as well. So I have to, know what I'm doing. So there's a lot of times we want to jump up and show people what the old me, yeah?
But we've grown.
But we've so grown, I've learned to adapt swallowing, just pause, why for that? Yeah, no swallowing going on.
Don't worry, it's honestly
I know, but I just have to I'm still switched on. There's no whys in this. I'm still sometimes I have to just, and take a deep breath and meditate, because I have rituals in the morning. So before I leave, I want to say that, work on yourself. My rituals in the morning, stretching, exercising, meditating, before I even connect with the outside world, before I go boom. It's very important. Then the gym, and reading certain materials. What I put in my brain is what I'm expecting to get out. I'm not trying to fill up myself with shade bar of social media, and scroll. Don't get me wrong, I have to be on there for my work.
Because of what you do,
But I'm filling myself with loads of other stuff. So I'm not just this smiley little face and Maxwell D back in the day, serious, rude boy. They don't have no idea until I sit down and tell people and show people what I'm up to. So yeah, here I am. That's me.
Thank you so much, Maxwell D.
Thank you for letting me have a space. And it's easier when I'm with certain people, because it just flows and I get to say the depths of me, and you ask the right questions to get the right answers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming through.
100%.
Because you really didn't have to. So I'm very grateful.
Listen, I knew straight away. I was like, I've been seeing you do your thing anyway. I'm always supportive of, my fellow melanins. You get me? I'm always wanting to see people do well. So if there's any chance that I can step in and, enhance the situation and just, support the community. Yes, we're going to do it. That's what we're here for. It's not egos. It's not about money. It's about what we can do for each other. And that's why I'm here. So.
All right, I've got a question for the next guest. My name is Andrew Fuller. My question is, what life incident or scenario impacted you the most? What life incident or scenario has impacted you the most? Something you've been through, something you've seen, heard, whatever it is, positive and negative. And how did the negative impact you? And how did the positive propel you to get you where you are today?
Wow, that's a flipping good question. To get me where I am today. Okay, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. And true, I know you as well. It's peak. Negative stuff, I think I spoke about it on the show earlier, which is all that negative media stuff, that went in stuff in the media when all that was going on, that was negative. But also, the negative impact helped me at the same time to grow, to become a better person, to kind of swim in the right direction. Positive impact would be my firstborn, man. Like, having my son, I feel that was the code for love. That was the crack. I don't really, with all the trauma, with all the stuff that I've been growing up with, I don't think I knew how to love. But I said, when my boy come, that's when I actually got softer and I felt what real love was about. So that was the most positive impact in my life. Him, yeah, when he come, 16 years ago.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, that is it.
Oh, perfect.
That's the end of the show.
Oh, man. I want to stay. No, I'm
You
joking.
have to come back.
Listen, I'll come back, man. Oh, God, I don't even know if we've got anything else to say, but like, I have to live a little bit.
Yeah. So, thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Honestly Speaking. I am Honestly Trina. Do like, comment, subscribe. Go and follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I've even got a LinkedIn now because I'm trying to do what he's doing, doing the mentoring and such.
We need to talk. We need to talk, man.
So,
see what happens.
Please follow me. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can check me, Maxwell D, official Maxwell D on Instagram. One of the main things I use. I'm on TikTok as well with the Pitneys them. Is it Maxwell? Yeah, official Maxwell D on there as well. I'm on LinkedIn. I ain't even gonna draw for the government, but I'm on LinkedIn. Also, the main thing, check out the Bird Call, check out our sync company, the Bird Call 7 on Instagram. And Music Through the Bars, my mentoring company, how can I forget? Music Through the Bars is the mentoring company, and Serious World, CIC, is the charity. Bingo.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you for tuning in to Honestly Speaking. It has been real. Check me out on Sundays on YouTube. Thank you.